we're going to do a dish next. The next dish is going to be a slow cooker recipe. So very simple recipes, very tasty, and we're ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so first recipe. We wanted to make an alternative to chips. That's probably my downfall, my guilty pleasure. I love like chips, salty snacks. So we're going to make something that is a little bit little healthier for you. And it's a great technique that you can apply to all sorts of vegetables, especially starchy vegetables. So root vegetables, perfect for this time of year. We actually have our new boards up. There's some roots on there that you can choose. We're using celery root to make some delicious chips, but you can do this with carrots. You can do this with sweet potato. You can do this with so many different vegetables, and it's completely escaping my mind, but there's lots that you can use.
We like to use celery root because it's kind of one of the sad, lonely vegetables in the vegetable aisle because it's so gnarly looking.
You might be scared of this.
People will pass it by, but very nutritious. You're getting some excellent fiber and some phytochemicals in there. So all important ways that not only are you replacing, some saltier, high-fat, high-calorie snacks, but you're replacing it with something really nourishing. So by increasing the vegetables in our diet, we're helping to reduce cancer risk.
Okay, so for the celery root, don't be afraid of it. Just peel the outside, and on the inside, you have this sort of beige, creamy looking vegetable. It's very similar to any starchy vegetable. So you can cook it like you would a potato. Tastes like a mild celery, actually. So it has a mild celery flavor to it. And what we're going to do to turn it into chips. Now, yeah, it's right in the first. It'll be the first page.
It might confuse you because it says winter slaw, which will be the second.
We're gonna add it. We're gonna add it to something. So we're using a mandolin. I love this thing. This is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen. You can find this at most kitchen surplus stores. They're like $30. But what's nice about this is that you can get paper thin shavings on vegetables.
Who has professional chef knife skills? I know I don't.
I'm not. There's no way I'm not cutting it that thin.
So if you want, in order to get a crispy chip, it has to be nice and thin, right?
Yeah.
So this mandolin will really help.
There's also attachments on food processors. There's a little thin blade on there. You can run it through there. Or this is a little bit small, but I can still make strips with a peeler. This is called a Y peeler because it has like a Y shape. No. But you can use a regular peeler. And essentially, you just do the same thing. I'm just running through it with this peeler. I mean, the shapes are a little irregular. They're a little bit smaller, but it still works. I still get a really, really thin sort of, shaving of the vegetable. So either way, it works. There's a few methods you can use. And once I get those paper thin shavings, we'll put them onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Now, you don't want to overcrowd them. You want to make sure that they heat evenly. And I'm kind of rushing this. And we're going to just pour about a teaspoon of, I'm using olive oil. You can use any oil because we're using a very, very low temperature. So that's it. Brush it with a little bit of the olive oil. Use a little paintbrush, or not a used paintbrush, cooking brush. And into the oven, about 225, 250. So I do mine at about 225 with convection. If you don't have convection, do a little bit higher. You can do 250. And that'll take about 40 minutes. So really, really, really low heat. I'm sort of semi-dehydrating it. Dehydration would take a even lower temperature and a little bit longer. So about 250, 40 minutes. I find that works for me. And they'll shrivel up, but you get these really awesome chips. Super crispy. These ones went too long, as you can see.
I think they look great. I like them really crispy.
They're still tasty, though. But really, really simple. And like I said, this is with celery root. I can do this with carrots. We can do this with, kale. A little less time with kale. But any sort of starchy vegetable is really, really thin, low heat.
Parsnip,
really
rutabaga.
Well. Parsnip, rutabaga, there you go. So some turnips, radishes are great. Carrots, fantastic. Even pear, really, really good. So I'm going to use, again, the mandolin, the guard that it comes with.
Please use
You've never used it before. You shouldn't be.
It's hard when the thing is
when it's really
a
big,
bulbous shape like that.
Just
but
keep
when you
your
get
hand
down close,
well, just keep your hand flat when it's larger, and then when you get a little closer, you can put the guard on top.
you don't want to get shorter fingers from this recipe. So we're gonna use the guard. Be safe.
So these are some radishes. This is actually called a watermelon radish. You can find all of these great, cool ingredients, and radishes are so cheap too. These are really fun. I mean, these are probably like one radish is probably like 50 cents, not even. But again, if you don't have mandolin, speed peeler with carrot, just fly through it like that. And this is a nice raw, crunchy salad. By shaving it thin, it's gonna go all over the place. We're making a mess. It's all right. It's okay.
There has to be a mess in the kitchen, or you haven't done your work. Right?
Absolutely. But by shaving it thin, it's not super hard, so you can make your way through it. It's like almost like a crunchy lettuce leaf, like that sort of thickness. But it does retain that sort of bite, that crunch, that is really enjoyable as well. Really exotic.
Doesn't it look beautiful?
Yeah. And so that's it. I mean, some carrots, radishes, pear. We're gonna dress it up with. We're gonna go with sesame sort of flavor. That's what I was feeling today. So I'm gonna use my mason jar, aka salad dressing maker, and we're gonna add some acidity. So rice wine vinegar. For a slaw, I tend to go a little bit more on the acidity, just because I like that sort of bite. If you don't like the acidity, then you don't have to use it at all. You can even use some lemon zest, some lime zest, so you'll still get some of that citrus flavor, but without that acidity that might be a little troublesome. So if you don't like it, don't add it. Otherwise, I like to go a little heavier on it. Rice wine vinegar. Then oil, we're using sesame seed oil. This is a toasted sesame seed oil, so it's a little bit darker. This, again, you don't want to heat it. Most sesame oils have, especially concentrated, good quality sesame oils, have a very low smoking point. So this is perfect for dressings, not for cooking with.
And it has a very powerful flavor if you've ever used sesame oil in any of your recipes. So that's one thing I like about it. You don't have to use a lot. And it smells amazing.
Yeah. So whisk it. You want to whisk dressings anytime you want to force oil and vinegar together. Whisk it really well, shake it really well so that it sort of emulsifies and gets this really, really nice creamy texture. Again, you can little pinch of salt in there if you want. I'm going to do it sans salt. White and black sesame seeds. Yeah, I just had both. Taste-wise, it's pretty similar.
Nutrition-wise, quite similar.
That's mint, yeah, some fresh herbs. So I put mint. You can put whatever. That's it. Then dress it up. I have the worst tongs. These are not good. Need it to open up. So just give it a quick toss. And again, it has some beautiful colors. This is nice as is, like as a side salad. You can even throw this on top of a sandwich.
On a sandwich, this would be incredible.
Absolutely.
Or on top of a piece of fish. Question.
Celery root you would have at, the watermelon radish. Yeah. Watermelon radish, at some grocery stores, I've seen them at Loblaws, I've seen them at Metro now. Celery root, I've seen almost every grocery store should have this. Yeah, this is Ontario grown, we grow a lot of this, and you should find it. If it's not at your grocery store, ask the grocer to bring it in. They'll bring it in for you. Colors, and then bring those chips back.
And that's our recipe.
That's it. Chips on top. We got through it.